Hey guys, I'm back with our market updates, so let's get started. Okay, so Scarlet Violet base is back up to about its previous amount at about 196. It dropped to 190, and I said that based on the selling rate, like it usually sells at least 9 or so boxes a day, maybe 6 or 7 some days, but it's been 12 the last 2 days. Um, it went back up, and there weren't that many sales at the 190 or that many listings, so it kind of made sense. Um, it's been kind of hovering around this 196, 197 mark, and it's really not that far from 200, like constantly, like at least for the last week. If you count the number of boxes, it's like okay, there's like 5 boxes here, and it already goes like 199. But yeah, for whatever reason, like people will keep listing lower amounts. Let's see, some familiar stars. This Country Roads looks familiar. Some of the other ones don't look as familiar. But yeah, it keeps happening. And with, I guess, 191 on the market, I guess there's enough on the market that it's just going to happen. Uh, Paldea is down to about 218. And I was looking at this, I was like, is it just like one seller? And yeah, it's CGD Castle, another one of the lower sellers. Selling at 218. Otherwise, it goes back to 223, which is kind of its normal-ish price. So it's not that big of a deal. The man did drop a little bit to about 20. Um, I guess the usually low end it's 20. So usually it drops like the lower end, but some days it can go as high as like 20, like mid 20s, like 27, like 26 over here, 27 over here, and 40 over here. Um, so yeah, Paldeo just could go up and down, and even though it's like very expensive, some people do have quite a bit of it, and they're just sort of offloading it. Yeah, Hollow SQ also is kind of a lower seller in general. But if I see all these other sellers mixed in, then yeah, a lot of people are just trying to offload. I'm guessing some of this honestly is possibly some of the fears of the reprints or just needing to get capital. It's usually some of the lower sellers. I see CGG Castle and Hollow SQ, and some of these other sellers are about the same price, but I don't really recognize them as much as far as lower sellers. So it just seems like there's more sellers coming into the market, just trying to offload their boxes. Um, yeah, I don't have the best memory for some of these, but maybe over time, I'll start to remember like Dove Games over here is also Obsidian, so maybe I should start memorizing that. But yeah, there's just more and more like lower sellers trying to get rid of their stuff, and when you see them across the listings, it's a little more obvious. Obsidian, yeah, demand actually went up to 24. That's actually pretty high for it. Yeah, demand's been going up in March actually, but in February was like kind of the low, like January and February. And then March, it's been selling like 45 to 55 boxes every 3 days. So yesterday it sold about 24, and the price has recovered a little bit. Not that City was going for a huge drop or anything, but it's just been like this one, like around 190s, like high 180s marks for a while. It was like a 194, and it just kept dropping every day. Like even if it's only like $1, it's just dropping like every day. Um, Now it's back to 192, which is like back where it was on the 5th, which makes sense for selling that many boxes. But you'd be surprised with Obsidian, um, even when it sells like this amount, it's still the price will still go down sometimes. Yeah, see Dove Games again. I think I've seen Collectimo before. Um, but as far as like the next price points, see this is 194, so it's not that far from 194. I just need to sell like 6 boxes, and these are 100% sellers, so theoretically people would buy them. Just gonna see what people were buying them for. There's one 192 there. Someone bought 6 boxes for 210. That's pretty expensive. Just another 210 over here. But yeah, Obsidian's doing a lot better. Yeah. So Paradox, I think it's about the same. It just went up like about $1. Um, it's still, I think it's still the cheapest booster box. Oh, wait, that should be 264. Except for Temporal, which Temporal is still in Pokemon Center, so that makes sense. Yeah, even Vivid and Battlestar is like 190, 195. So Paradox, it's still kind of like I don't know, the runt or the joke of Scarlet in some ways. Like, not in terms like it's literally the worst set, but in terms of pricing, it's still definitely not liked. Yeah, I see Hollow SQ and Heavy Tech and Dub Games again. Um, the demand really isn't that bad. It's like 15 to about 20 most days, and there's only 126 on the market. Like I think SC base have 200 or 190. But yeah, there's a lot of boxes at this 180 mark relative to actually at the selling rate, it could really go through these boxes, get to 184. But I've been seeing that for like a few days, and it just yeah, people will keep putting down boxes. So that's why I'm always like, it's probably like a fraction of the demand. Like even if 20 boxes are selling a day, and you count like that's 15 boxes, like people will tend to add more boxes until like there's enough like okay we shouldn't add more boxes or they run out. Yeah, basic supply and demand, I guess. So Twilight also went down. Twilight went back down to 21. It's been kind of hovering around this price, so it's not really that bad. It'll probably recover. um, it's mostly from this Evergreen Bolt so, with this one box. Otherwise, it's basically 224, which is a pretty normal price for Twilight. They're selling at like still about $10 a day. So yeah, as I said, compared to Paldea, um, it sells slower, but there's fewer boxes at the lower price points. So like it'll still stay at its price point, like around 220 or at least like 200s for a while. Stellar also I think had like one box, so like there's this Evergreen Vault again. Just putting the price ever like so slightly lower. But yeah, it's at 196. Usually it was like 198. But yeah, right after that it goes back to 198, which yeah, it's interesting how Stellar's still like a $200 booster box. Um, only like 5 to 13 have been selling most days. Yeah, it's just really like amazing. Out of like all the boxes, we bought SV base, Paradox, and Stellar. Like Stellar is was the one that would have given you the best return at the moment because they're all about $100 a few months ago. But I think the Squirtle and the Bulbasaur have like some real value, and it's more recent, and it hasn't had any reprints or anything. So supply thing, like I think that's what happened to Twilight too. There's just like there hasn't been any reprints, so the relative demand, no, the relative supply has just been lower. Um, and then Surging Sparks, demand has been like up. I'm not say up and down, but you see how it's not like solid blocks. It's like it goes from 10 to 20, 10 20, 10 20, 10 20, something like that. But yeah, otherwise, Surging is still pretty strong at 265. Still the most expensive Scarlet Vibe box. For Sword and Shield base, I think someone finally bought like that 420 box, but Sword and Shield base has had like zero activity. I just thought it was funny for those who like cats. I saw that and I was like, oh, that looks like a cat. I like cats a lot, so I saw it. I was like, oh, that's cute. This is the 3 month range. The 1 month range shows that one box sold yesterday. I think it was at 420 box. But otherwise, you see like very little boxes have been sold in the last month. But in March, it's been picking up. Or so slightly, it says like March 5th and March 8th. Otherwise, this was like zero activity in February. Rebel Clash and Dark Displays didn't really have much activity. Vivid Voltage went up about $5. I kind of saw that coming because there's only like 1 or 2 boxes at the 190 price. Battle Styles is almost at 195 as well. There's like uh, there's like 3 boxes. I don't know. There's like 2 boxes at the 190 price. So other than that, it goes to 195. There was a blip in demand yesterday though. Like it was pretty consistent, at least one box a day. But yesterday, no one really bought. And it was selling at like 5 to 8 or 4 to 8 a day. So yeah, people just didn't buy battle styles yesterday. I was wondering if yesterday was a slower day in the market anyway, because for other Sword and Shield boxes, um, I've seen like yeah, yesterday only one box of Chilling was bought. Chilling is kind of the same otherwise. Um, I think there might be a few more like low listed sellers with like very little feedback, like these two over here. But other than that, yeah, like demand was lower all of a sudden. Um, Fusion Strike, yeah, same thing. Like only one box was bought yesterday, um, and the market price has actually gone down because I think that that seller just listed a little bit lower, and like, there's like five boxes there. But so Fusion Strike, just five boxes at the I think 484 mark, where it's been 488 for a while. So technically a slight drop for Fusion Strike. Brilliant Stars is still at the 300 mark. It still gets boxes being sold. Like three were sold yesterday, but there's just so many still at the 300 mark. Um, and Astral, I said that like yeah, it keeps getting close technically in terms of listings to a price jump, but no one's been buying. And yesterday, someone finally bought one. Um, but yeah, it's not enough. Like you need more sales to get to like even 265. Even that's not a big jump. Lost Origin. Lost Origin. The sales have been kind of decent, like five yesterday. Actually, no, this is never mind. That's 3 month range. So yeah, there's a break on Friday and then three boxes sold yesterday, which is pretty good for Lost Origin. It's usually 1 to 4, but actually more usually one to two. Um, it's still kind of stuck at this $400 range, except that like there's only four boxes left at the 400, and it goes to 404. I've been telling you guys that like I'm waiting until it surpasses like the 404, 405 mark, maybe hopefully sort of like 407, 410. Just hasn't really done that before, so it's kind of a new sort of breaking point. Um, but yeah, it hasn't quite done that yet, but it's getting closer than it was before. And then Silver Tempest, I think it went up like literally a dollar. Um, yeah, like about actually like even less than that, it's like 88 cents. But yeah, a lot of times Silver Tempest will just like slowly, really slowly rise. But yeah, there's more buying activity in general. Like three were sold yesterday. It's a more recent set, and you know there's a bigger chase with Lugia. Um, but yeah, it's there's only one box at this price, and it goes to 260 again, and then that's actually 260. So um, yeah, I like silver. It's not necessarily doing the best, but yeah, I do like it for the big chase card. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.